All right, y'all. So it brings me no joy to present to you this next segment here, but it is what it is, and it's super ugly and dark. So, as you all know, Donald Trump, half the time on the campaign trail when he brought up foreign policy, he would say stuff like, Liz Cheney is a warmonger. She only wants to shoot people. Kamala Harris is a warmonger. He even did some of that in his first run in 2016, where he would go after the Iraq war, right? And it left this impression on some people that, oh, this guy must be anti-war. Look at that thing that he said. Now, of course, the thing that these people are missing is they're latching on to the comments of Trump that they like. And they're disregarding and ignoring when he contradicts himself and says the exact opposite. In his first run, he said on the campaign, we're going to bomb the shit out of him. That's what we're going to do. We're going to bomb the shit out of him. We're going to take the gloves off. He literally said in his first run, talking about ISIS, he goes, we have to take out their families. Don't kid yourself. We have to take out their families. So openly advocating for murdering civilians, which is advocating for terrorism, which is a war crime in like 50 different ways. And these people would just ignore the pro-war stuff and latch onto the anti-war stuff. And that always sort of drove me crazy because the proof is in the pudding, right? The devil's in the details, to say two cheesy phrases back to back. The point is, what did he actually do in office? And as you all know, he was massively pro-war. He was a colossal neocon. And now in his second term, he's raising the stakes even more. He's graduated from neocon to 1800-style imperialist and colonialist. So now it's all hanging out, right? I don't even think he mentioned Greenland on the campaign trail this time. I don't think he mentioned Panama on the campaign trail this time. But now we have to have it. We have to have it. We're going to take it. There were reports that they're literally drafting up plans on how to take Panama with force. Well, now, yet again, he's added another country to the list because he can't fucking help himself. He's completely unhinged, completely unchained. And so he had a meeting with the genocidal, bloodthirsty war criminal Netanyahu in the White House the other day. By the way, yet again, he pulled out his seat for him, which at this point is starting to look like some sort of humiliation ritual that he has to go through, right? What dirt? What dirt does Israel and Mossad have on Trump? What dirt do they have on, like, RFK Jr.? Because these guys certainly act like they are not independent agents, like they are serving Israel, right? So they have a discussion in the White House, in the Oval Office, and listen to what Trump says here about Gaza. This is astonishing.
Well, you know how I feel about the Gaza Strip. I think it's an incredible piece of important real estate, and I think it's something that we would be involved in, but, having a peace force like the United States there, controlling and owning the Gaza Strip would be a good thing.
Having a peace force there like the United States controlling and owning the Gaza Strip would be a good thing. Look at how casual and nonchalant he is with the most obvious violations of international law and human rights and sovereignty that I've ever seen in my life. Do you understand what a peace force means? It means U.S. boots on the ground. Our military, boots on the ground in Gaza, doing Israel's dirty work, helping them finish the genocide and the ethnic cleansing. And ultimately, what does he want to do? Let's put some casinos. Let's put some casinos. Let's put some hotels. Let's put them right on the beach. It'll be beautiful. It'll be wonderful. We'll make a lot of money. He always refers to Gaza as real estate. Think about how dark that is. You have 2.3, or at least you did, have 2.3 million people who were there. And he's talking about brazenly stealing it, kicking them off somewhere else. Jesus Christ.
Because right now, all it is for years and years, all I hear about is killing and Hamas and problems. And if you take the people, the Palestinians, and move them around to different countries, and you have plenty of countries that will do that.
He's talking like what kind of sandwich he's going to have for lunch. And he's advocating ethnic cleansing. I keep telling people, man, there's this fallacy that people have growing up in the imperial core where you feel like, well, look, when we do bad things, we mean well, so it doesn't count as much as like when the Nazis do bad things, right? Because they didn't even mean well. They were evil and they kind of knew they were evil. At what point are you comfortable saying we're evil and we know that we're evil? Listening to the way that this guy talks, listening to how the mask has come off. I hate to tell you, we are not immune from the same failures as every other empire in history. Every empire tells themselves some bullshit story about how they're the good guys and they're spreading the right values around the world. That is not the case. We are the baddies. This is evil. And he's so casual about it. I mean, guys, when Russia invaded Ukraine, we all rightly were furious and aghast at the idea that in today's day and age, somebody could just impose on another country's independence and sovereignty that brazenly and just try to steal the territory. And Putin said, like, it's a fake country. It's not even a real country. I don't know why I just gave Putin the Trump accent. But he said it's a fake country, that really it's ours, right? And then now he's doing it with Greenland, with Panama, with Gaza. We're going to get to Yemen in just a second. Mexico's another one that's on the... It's so casual. Like, yeah, we're going to own it. What does that even mean? You have no legal right, no legal authority, no moral authority, wanton violation of international law. It's a war crime. I don't understand how else to explain to people that this is so far beyond the pale. I don't know how else to explain to people what has been going on in Gaza. Now, a new poll just came out, and the unfavorability rating for Israel absolutely skyrocketed. It's never been this high in American history. So with all the propaganda and we've heard this our whole lives about, the bond is so strong, it's an unbreakable bond, and this and that bullshit. Well, guess what? The American people are slowly but surely waking up where they're seeing what's happening to innocent Palestinians, and they're going, nah, dog, nah. I'm not with a country that can carpet bomb innocent people on a daily basis and act like it's totally hunky-dory. And so the people are waking up. But look at our leaders, bro. Look at our leaders. These are genocidal freaks. Imagine how the history books are going to look back at this moment with these fucking monsters in control.
You really have a freedom zone. You call it the freedom zone, a free zone, a zone where people aren't going to be killed every day. That's a hell of a place. You know what I call it? A great location that nobody wants to live in because they really don't. And when they have good living, real living, where Hamas and all of the problems they have, the level of death on the Gaza Strip is just incredible.
Where's that death coming from? Where's that death coming from, Donald? It's literally the guy to your right. Why are people so passive with their language when it comes to Israel? Why are you so you act like it was a natural disaster or something, like a hurricane went through, an earthquake happened, and all these people lost their lives. No, it has been relentless carpet bombing of innocent people. It has been IDF goons and thugs and gangsters sniping little children in the face, in the head. In fact, what was it, the New York Times or the Washington Post? I think it was the New York Times, had an article where they explained in detail, hey, dog, we got countless corpses over here of children, and they were shot in the face. And then a bunch of Zionists were like, that's not true, man. How dare you say that? There's no evidence of that. And the New York Times responded, and they were like, we literally have pictures, and we didn't release them because they were so disturbing, but, this shit is real, dog, and we got all the evidence in the world. I don't get it. I don't get it. How can you have a situation where on a regular basis, schools are bombed? On a regular basis, hospitals are bombed. You have nightmare stories where there's, on average, 10 amputations per day of little kids' arms and legs with no anesthesia whatsoever. Literal hell on earth. A nightmare. And, things just keep moving forward. As if we're not witnessing a literal Holocaust in the year 2025. I don't know how to shake people out of their complacency. I've tried. Lord knows I've tried. I know you guys have tried. But, what do you do? When this is the point that we're at, where they're, casually discussing a final solution for 2.3 million people in front of the world? This alone, you should have all these people should be arrested. How are we going to let these people get away with this? They're just the most insane criminals I've ever seen in my life, the amount of death and destruction and harm they've inflicted. And Trump talks about it so passively, as if it's just a fact of nature, right? It's a law of nature. Oh, these bad things happen to the Palestinians. Gee, I wonder how that occurred. Because the guy next to you decided, I want to kill all of them and kick them off their land.
I've said it. I don't understand why Israel ever gave it up. Israel owned it. It wasn't this man, so I can say it. He wouldn't have given it up. I know him very well.
What the fuck is he talking about? What the fuck is he talking about? This land was Palestinians' land. Oh, my God.
No way. They took oceanfront property and they gave it to people for peace. How did that work out?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I know. Israel, they're so dedicated to peace. They're always doing the right thing, and it's those dastardly Palestinians that are always screwing it up. Who can believe this? Anybody who has any understanding of history looks at it and goes, literally the exact opposite is true. Who has all the money? Who has all the power? Who has all the weapons? Who's doing the bulk of the killing? What are we talking about? This is who this guy is. God, I have to say it, but it really is true. Literally anybody who fucking came out and pretended like Donald Trump was anti-war, or even just more anti-war than Kamala and Biden, every single one of those people should never be heard from again. They should just fucking retire, go pick up a different profession, get a different hobby. Don't fucking waste your time. Don't waste your breath. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about, and you ignored evidence that was right in front of your face this entire fucking time about how massively pro-war this monster is. But I'm not done. So here, this was him saying about Gaza. Yeah, boots on the ground, U.S. invasion of Gaza. Literally wants Americans to now go fight and die on behalf of a bloodthirsty Zionist genocidal regime. Okay, ready? The U.S. air campaign against the Houthis isn't working. Oh, no shit. We talked about that the other day. It's been a massive failure. They've spent nearly $1 billion. They're running out of the specific bombs they use for this. More. So things are moving to the next phase. Discussions of a ground offensive led by the internationally recognized government out of Aden with U.S. and potential Saudi Arabian and UAE support. He's also considering boots on the ground for an advisory role in fucking Yemen. Is anybody keeping a running track of this, man? Why do I feel like we're the only ones who talk about this? We got Panama, we got Greenland, we got Denmark, we got Mexico, we got Iran, we got Yemen, we got Somalia. I know I'm missing a bunch of others. Ecuador, apparently. We learned that the other day. A center-left government might win in Ecuador, and they're talking about sending troops there. I've never seen anything like this in modern American history. I know we've always had a horrible foreign policy record when we became the global superpower. Everybody knows that. But there was a time in the middle there where the U.S. at least felt the need to pretend human rights matter, justice matters, international law matters. And so that's why, even if you go back to the Iraq War, they tried to do a massive propaganda effort and make this argument of like, Saddam Hussein is a threat. He helped do 9/11. He's going to attack us. He's violating UN law. We need to take his nuclear weapons away. Oh my God, he's not listening to the UN. There was this veneer of seriousness and international law, and hey, we're just following the process. And Bush even had a fucking vote at the UN, right? This is something Michael Tracy reminded me of the other day. And now, it's just, let's not even pretend anymore. We are a fucking mafia. This is a mafia gangster. This is a thug who's running this country. And unilaterally making decisions, doesn't give a fuck about anyone else or anything else. And the reality also is, as you all know, he's taken hundreds of millions of dollars from pro-Israel interests. Sheldon Adelson, Miriam Adelson. And now he's paying them back. So at the core of this, on top of being a horrific human being, there's also a colossal amount of bribery and corruption where he's totally fine. He will aid and abet and help out every step of the way the massacre of more innocent Palestinians. That's what he'll do. And then he'll try to steal Gaza. And then he'll turn it over to Israel. And they all think, these people really think that they'll never have to pay the piper. And eventually, we'll end up on top. Well, as you're seeing economically with the stock market crash and the trade war, and as you're going to see when it comes to foreign policy, I think the world is already past the point of putting up with any more U.S. bullshit. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to lead to a transition period that we can't even wrap our minds around right now, what we're going to have to deal with the implosion of the economy, with the loss of status as the world superpower, being isolated and alienated from people who were our allies, who Trump ruined our relationship with them. And so here we go. Boots on the ground in Gaza, boots on the ground in Yemen. So casual about it, so casual. Just like we had the hands-off protest the other day, we need another one. I think they're planning one on April 19th. Another one on April 19th. Last time they said there were millions. Shit, we're going to have to get to the point where it is tens of millions or maybe 100 million people out there. You got to scare the shit out of these psychopaths. Because left unchecked, they will do the most barbaric things you've ever seen in your life and not think twice about it. Hey y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.